Have you ever felt like prying eyes are watching you as you surf the internet or log on to various social networks? Well, it's probably because they are, at least according to our guest today, who says not only are they watching you, but they're also collecting your personal information that can be later used against you. I'm Spencer Mazik, and joining me now is Lori Andrews, author of I Know Who You Are and I Saw What You Did, Social Networks and the Death of Privacy. Welcome, Lori. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm delighted to be here, Spencer.
So first of all, let me just say that this book does a great job of raising awareness about online privacy. I mean, really, is that the reason why you wrote it?
Absolutely. I had no idea until I started researching it that dictionary.com puts 233 tracking mechanisms on your computer when you look up a word. That increasingly people's online self is more important than their offline self. And 75% of companies now require their HR officials to look at what you are online before offering you a job.
To look at what you're doing online and then the second self that is built online, correct?
Yes, and so, think of poor Ashley Payne, 24-year-old school teacher. She hadn't friended any of her students or any of their parents. She went to Ireland on a summer vacation, posted a picture of herself having a beer at the Guinness factory, and lost her job as a result. Increasingly, judgments are being made against us, and we might know, hey, maybe I shouldn't post that drunken hot tub picture.
Right.
But people don't realize that even something like a smiling photo might be used against them. One woman was hurt in a workplace accident, had 4 spinal surgeries, and a judge actually said she couldn't have been that hurt if her MySpace photo showed her smiling. Didn't even ask whether the picture was from before the accident or not. So this is being looked at as the real self, and and people are losing custody of their children because they posted a custody picture.
This to me is fascinating because I think we all understand that when we join Facebook and other social networks that maybe some of the information we disclose will be used by advertisers to better target ads, but to have that information used to sort of adversely affect us, I think is incredible.
Yeah, people don't realize that their email over Gmail is scanned. So if I over Gmail say to a friend, I'm thinking of getting a divorce, or if I do a Google search for old guitars, and then I go to a credit card site, I might be offered a less good credit card because people getting divorces or who are in garage rock bands tend not to pay their bills.
Wow, but who's scanning this information?
There are algorithms for the companies. I mean, Google makes $36 billion a year. 96% of their income is based on using your private information to match you to advertisers. And people think, oh, I love getting the 10% off coupon, or I'm finding out where my favorite band is playing. But they don't realize that information can be used in negative ways. I write mysteries in addition to nonfiction books. I Google things like date rape drugs and so forth. Whole criminal cases have been based on people's Google searches.
So, I mean, it's data aggregators are collecting this information, and it's not just about people who are on social networking sites like Facebook or Twitter. It's just anybody is vulnerable and anybody is at risk if you're using the internet.
Absolutely. So say you do a search for the side effects of a medication. It may not even be for you. You're doing it for your friend or your grandmother. Then you go on a life insurance site. You might not be able to get life insurance because you have looked for that information, or you've looked at certain websites. And people think, well, I'll clean up my Facebook page. I'll take down incriminating photos when I go looking for a job. But some companies actually keep the last 7 years worth of public Facebook information, and their business model is to sell that information to employers. And I've seen some of the reports that have come out of one company called Social Intelligence Corporation. So if you had an underage drinking photo 6 years ago in college, they will mark it as illegal activity, and the potential employer will just get a report that said you behaved illegally. Or one guy on Craigslist was trying to organize an effort to legalize marijuana. That was marked as illegal activity and sent to the employer.
Well, and so there are going to be some folks, Lori, who say, all right, I get it. They're collecting information about me, but I really don't care. So what do you say to those folks who don't care? Why should they care?
Well, they may not care because they just don't know that it might mean the difference between getting a job or not, getting a credit card or not. or keeping custody of your children or not. A sexy photo on MySpace for a woman could lose her custody of her children. And courts are looking into things now like, is a dad a bad dad? Should he lose his kids because he liked the viral video of Burger King shooting Ronald McDonald in the face? So
Wow.
everywhere you go on the web now is coming into court cases, and it's turning the legal system upside down. In one case, a criminal case, a juror actually posted the facts of the case on Facebook and asked people to vote up or down
Yes, I
about whether to
remember
put this
reading that,
person
which I thought
in
was crazy.
jail.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that, you know, you increasingly you are what you post. And so you might not think about it now, but there might be later decisions in your life about custody cases, about divorce, about criminal activities. Los Angeles, the LAPD charges kids with gang activity if they're wearing gang colors on their Facebook or MySpace page. Well, I looked up the list of gang colors. Plaid, think any hipster.
Yeah, everybody wears plaid. I wear plaid even. So.
Yeah, all black. You know, and so you can be discriminated against in ways that it's hard to fight against. Because unlike things like, credit bureaus who might give a credit score of yours to a company when you're looking for a loan or a credit card, the data aggregators who are selling information about you don't have to tell you that that's why you were turned down for a job. They don't have to let you correct it if they have out-of-date information. One poor guy can't get a job because his dad has his same name. The dad who's deceased had a mugshot up from when he was younger for a simple misdemeanor. But now the person with the same name doesn't even get a job because of this other information that had been about his dad. Employers are asking for your password to your Facebook page in order to look at the private side of what you do. Maryland has passed a law against it, but other states are still trying to catch up with that.